Kimberly Dolish. Holy Cannoli. Holy Cannoli. Kimberly Dolish.
Picture it! New York City. My first time ever in the Big Apple. Have you ever been to New York City? If you have, then you know it is a religious experience. The cacophony of sounds constantly assaulting your ears. The occasional smells assaulting your nose. The skyscrapers reaching up to the heavens. I was there for an extended weekend in June. The weather was absolutely perfect. And I, as a Sicilian, knew I had to eventually make my way to Little Italy so I could just experience it and get some pizza. New York City offers a bounty of opportunities for walking. So that's what I did. And the first thing I could smell was this amazing aroma. And I floated like a cartoon character over to a street. And that's when I noticed a street fair. Hundreds of vendors, lots of food, and I floated up to the first booth I found. And I said, what do we have here? He told me about an arepa. You can get an arepa filled with pork, you can get it filled with chicken. My favorite happens to be cheese. I'd like 2 arepas, please. And he handed them to me in wax paper. Perfect finger food. Continue on my journey. I kept noticing these little side stands with beautiful pops of color. I had to, of course, figure out what that was. I walked up to one of them, and it was fruit. Oh, fruit! If you've never had fruit in New York City, you are missing out. It is beautiful. The pops are red from the strawberries and apples. Watermelon so juicy it drips down your chin. Oranges, the color of the sun. I'd like some fruit, please. And he handed it to me in a plastic cup with a toothpick. Perfect finger food for walking. JB's Bagel Shop? I have got to get myself a bagel. I would like 1 blueberry bagel with cream cheese, please. And he handed me a paper sack, and lovingly ensconced inside of newspaper was a bagel. And the Hudson River is really what makes a New York City bagel tasty. And I continue on my journey. If you're ever in New York City, one of the most important things you have to do is get a water dog. What's a water dog, you ask? A water dog is a hot dog that has been sitting in water for the entire day. That water, I am fairly certain, has been there since my great-grandfather emigrated to this country over 100 years ago via Ellis Island. They hand it to you in a paper sleeve covered with all kinds of yummy bits. And you can continue walking on that journey. At some point during my weekend, I made my way to Little Italy. I was there for the pizza. And I see a sign, Cafe Palermo, best cannoli in the universe. I am Sicilian, home of the cannoli, but I do not like cannoli. My family makes cannoli by the hundreds. They serve them out on platters. People grab them by the fistful, 2 and 3, and shove them into their mouth, and they love them. And I do not love cannoli, but I do love pizza. So I walked into Cafe Palermo. I sat down at a table, looking out over the street, and the waitress walks up. Hey, honey, what are you gonna have? Ma'am, I would love a slice of cheese pizza and a Coca-Cola, please. Pizza? Honey, it's 11:30. The ovens ain't even on yet. We don't have any pizza. You know what you do need? What do I need? You need a cannoli. A cannoli? When in New York City, one must. All right, I will take one cannoli, please. A few moments later, she walks out to me with a porcelain plate with a doily on top of it, one little cannoli sitting there, and a fork. No self-respecting Sicilian is going to be eating a cannoli with a fork. I picked that thing up with my 2 fingers, I took a bite, and all of the sound in the entire city stopped. There was no movement save for one tiny little dove that flew up out of the gutter with an olive branch stuck out of its mouth. One single tear rolled down my cheek. And that waitress, with the biggest grin on her face, walked up and said, "What do you think, honey?" I took a deep breath and I said, "Let me tell you something, darling. This cannoli ought to be canonized by the Catholic Church. This cannoli ought to be made into a saint. This cannoli is indeed a holy of cannolis."